you need to contemplate the cost of your inaction. I find as we progress into this time of year, and it's been fascinating watching this because I've been doing this for a really, really long time. Like, I have owned my gym for 13 years. I have been training people for, well, my entire adult life. It is all I have ever known. And you start to get towards the end of the year, and people start to go, I'll just deal with it next year. I'll just start later. I'll start in January. I'll just push it down a bit. And what I've noticed, which I found really fascinating, is over the years, especially since we had, lockdowns and craziness like that, that time frame has been getting pushed further and further. And like now it's starting as I've had people at the start of October tell me that, I'll deal with that next year. You've got 3 months. That's a quarter of the year to figure the shit out, to get started, to see some progress, to see some results. So the real question that needs to be asked is, well, what's the price of the inaction? What are you losing by not starting? And you can flip it either way. What do you gain by not starting? What's the benefit? Because the answer is nothing. You don't gain anything. There is no benefit. There is no extra readiness or anything like that that's going to come from kicking this down the line till next year. The reason why you want to do that is because, well, you want to take the easy way. Christmas is, as people like to tell me, it's like, it's time for relaxing, chilling, and eating good food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I get it. Like, as I've said many, many times, my wife is just, the most phenomenal cook. Like, it's ridiculous how good a chef that woman is. And for Christmas, we have just amazing cook-ups. She does 3-course meals, entrees, desserts, sides, just everything. It's a spectacle, and it's just wonderful to be a part of. So I get wanting to be a part of that. But that's a day or two, at most. Maybe if you really want to push limits, you chuck in another day for New Year's. I realized a long, long time ago that New Year's Eve is, for young people and pissing away. I'd rather start New Year's on a high, feeling good. Usually I actually try to start the new year doing something incredibly hard that's going to tax me and push me further to set the standard for the year. But, that's a discussion for another day. But people want to delay it. They want to kick it down the line, and they want to push it to later on. But it costs you. Instead of that having this benefit because you want to participate in those things, what you're doing is not only delaying your results, not only delaying your progress, not only delaying seeing what you could achieve, you're also potentially making it worse. Because I see it all the time, that people go, I'll do it in the new year. And so they just shut down and they go, well, I'm going to start in the new year. I might as well have that food. I might as well not do any exercise. I might as well just take it all, take the rest and just kick back. So instead of making progress, you send yourself further and further backwards. Now, when I talk about, health and fitness, weight loss isn't the be all or end all, but it certainly fucking matters. Being overweight is taxing on your body. It's taxing on your system. It requires more energy just to exist, and not in a positive way. It's, one of the lead indicators of disease. You need to be looking after your health and fitness. And starting with that is dropping the body fat, especially the visceral fat. But people are like, it's Christmas time. I've seen people put 10, 15 kilos on over that month of Christmas. Because not only do you not start, you just throw all reasonable judgment to the wind. and just stuff yourself silly. You just drink yourself stupid, and you just make every decision that you know isn't going to progress you towards your goal. So what's the cost of inaction? That you're even further away from the result that you know you need? You're even further away from achieving anything of value? It's going to require more work, more effort, more dedication. It's going to take longer to see the results that you want to see. The cost of inaction is astronomical. And it's why you can't afford to keep kicking it down the line. It's why you can't afford to keep waiting. It's why you have to make the decision. And once you know the decision needs to be made, it needs to be made right then and there. It needs to be made in that moment. Because that is what matters. Once you know that it is important, well, you can't keep delaying after that. You can't keep kicking it down the line. You need to go, now is my moment. I know it's important. I know it's necessary. Now it needs to be done. So what are you going to do about that is the question. What choices are you going to make? What decisions are you going to do? Because you've decided it is necessary. You've decided that it is required. And yet you're going to keep kicking it down the line. I like to think of it as like a bill. But not just any bill. A bill that is greatly going to affect your life. A bill that, well, going to have, if you don't pay this bill, is going to derail your life. It's going to have monstrous impact on it. They're going to give you late fees on late fees on late fees. But here's the sneaky part. You won't realize that all those late fees are stacking up. Nothing's going to be said about it. It's just going to be accumulating. And then when you go to pay that bill, you're like, holy shit, how has this gotten this bad? I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can pay this. It's because you kept kicking it down the line. And I'll be the first to admit that I know this firsthand in other areas. But it applies to all areas, but especially health and fitness. And I see it as the most prominent component when we get to this time of year. That you are just racking up debt on this thing. And not only that, but you're like, not only are you not paying that bill, you're going, well, I'll draw out more and incur more fees on it. Like a credit card, and you're pulling out cash for it, and you're copping that 26% interest rate on it. It's just not worth it. So now you have to realign. Now you need to make a different decision. Now you need to go, as I said, you know that what's required. You know that you need to make a change. But you've attached some miracle meaning to the 1st of January. That suddenly, you're going to have all the motivation in the world. That clock's going to strike midnight. Now you're a different fucking human being. You got motivation, you got drive, you got discipline. This is your year until you reach quitter's day. Actual day. A legit day where the majority of people will give up on their New Year's resolutions. So you're all fired up until you reach that point. And then shit. It's all over Red Rover. Because, well, you didn't change. That clock striking midnight didn't, turn you into a princess. It turned you into a fucking pumpkin. And now you're screwed. So the question becomes, what are you actually going to do? You know what is required. You know what is necessary, and you need to make a decision. So stop paying the price of inaction and start taking the action. Take that first step forward. Make a actual concrete decision that is going to matter, that is going to impact your life, that is going to leave you in a better place. Make a real decision about who you want to be and the choices that you want to make. Because, as always, this is bigger than you. This is so much bigger than you. And it matters that you start making the right decisions for your future. So make the decision. Decide you're all in. Start demanding your greatness. Because not only you, but everyone you love and adore needs this and is worthy of it. So the choice is yours. What decision will you make?